Depending on the lighting of your picture, after you take the saturation out and turn it into a black and white picture, you may want to adjust the lighting of the picture. So let's look at something like that. Here I have a picture of a sunset, and the color really adds a lot of dimension to this picture, and brightens up the top part of the picture, contrasting with the dark bottom. So let's see what happens when we take the color away and see how the lights and darks are performing. So I'm going to go to Hue Saturation, and I'm turning the saturation to -100. So we've just lost all of our color. But really we haven't lost it, we've just kind of hidden the color and taken it away. If we want to see what the original picture looks like, we can just turn the Hue Saturation Adjustment layer off, and we have not destroyed the picture in any way. We're going to keep it on. Now, I think that the top part, I mean, obviously it's gray, but it's looking very mild, and I think it's losing some of the interest of the picture, and it's looking kind of dark. So what I'm going to do is just adjust the lighting. I can go to the adjustment layer icon again, the half moon cookie, and now instead of going to Hue Saturation, I'm going to try brightness and contrast. Note that all of these, this category of adjustments are all about brightness and contrast. I'm going to start here because it's the most straightforward. What I like to do is just hit auto. When I do this, Photoshop is going to make what it thinks is the best adjustment, and I'm not totally sold on this, although I do like that it's brighter on top now. So we have more brightness and contrast. We have a lot more, but I think that this is too much. And now it looks overblown. So I'm just going to nudge this back until I'm happier with it. Okay, see, it's still at 34, so it's still a lot more than it was originally. And I can also take the contrast down as well. But I do think that it's nice to see what Photoshop thinks the picture should look like. Now I can hit the eyeball if I want to see what the original picture looked like down here, so I can compare. And this does brighten up the picture. Another thing that we can try, and I'm going to turn this off, is we can try going to levels. Levels also will impact the lightness and darkness. Over here we have our whites, over here we have our darks, and here we have our midtones. So we can just nudge this in a little bit and nudge this in a little bit. That'll make the darks darker, the lights lighter. We can move our midtones to make them either lighter or darker. This can be a little complicated, so I think that I'm actually going to trash this and just get rid of it. But we can also try looking at we just did levels at curves. So curves gives you this histogram where here are the whites, here are the darks, and here are the midtones. And by bending this curve, we can see how we can change this picture. We can even hit auto again and see what Photoshop thinks we should do. And that is so bright. I think that looks way too excessive. So I'm going to take that down. But I do think that adjusting it a little bit does help the picture. So that's just something to think about if your pictures end up looking really dark or really light when you take the color out, is that you can adjust the lights and the darks of your picture, and either brighten or darken the picture as it is once it is in grayscale.